Alrighty, gamers, and welcome into our series of Copium versus Inferno. We've got great three games coming up, or two games, who knows? Not me. We got we got Blight on ARP. Next we got Singularity on the Wreckers, and our tiebreaker will be Nurse on Coles. But first off, we're seeing Inferno's Blight Toxic coming in with rushing straight away up to that top side of the map, hoping to catch out a survivor real quick. How do you feel about this game tonight, Gaffy?
I'm actually really excited to see these two teams head to head again, as I've seen them before in the show match with very similar sets. And we're seeing Toxic with a very standard build coming all the way up to top to see if he can spot anyone out. But he does find someone rotating bottom, but this already has taken a little while. I'm expecting the rest of the team to have rotated to gens already as well.
He may have saw some scratch marks, but he hasn't actually seen the survivor, and we already know that they're already on these bottom gens pumping away. Who cares about that corrupt? It's over for Copium. They're not really too fussed about it, but Toxic struggling to even get eyes on someone. Their stealth game for Copium right now is just too good. But we see Mercy Death, getting hit
Oh,
through the pallet, not quite
that
making
is
it. A cheeky little
disgusting
blind,
here.
not coming through. Is this going to be a two-tap? Oh, those bounces, and Mercy Death down straight away. What a good hit for
That was
Toxic.
very good rushes by Toxic. That pallet, once it's down, should be guaranteed hit every time. And the fact that Mercy got hit through that pallet there just meant there was very little she could do. Having this hook up top next to probably one of the only active gens is spelling disaster for Copium currently.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but right now there might not be much pressure on the board, but they've got the whole map to work with at the moment. You know, they could either keep pressure down on that bottom side of the map or just start working top side if someone hasn't crossed over already. This mid hook, probably it's pretty good for Toxic, but he doesn't seem to be really leaving the hook, which I don't know if I agree with. With S tier killers, he's got that chance to roam and quickly come back with the bounces, you know, because Blight's got those rushes in his back pocket as well. He doesn't have to just walk around the map.
Yeah, look, I think what he's trying to do is hold these top gens and not care too much about his bomb gens. But like, we know the Corrupt was up here early game. There's very little chance anyone has been working these gens yet. So I think it would have been safer for him to play a little bit more aggressive and try to get this tag to deny an early unhook, which we see come through.
Oh, these
Oh,
bounces quite kind of losing himself there on those locket bounces, allowing Mercy to make it all the way to Shaq, or not make it all the way to Shaq. Oh, because we see progress on
active
Shaq. There must have
gen.
been a little bit of miscommunication. We see the 4-gen pop over in the corner, but Mercy's got this filler to play around. She can play around this and maybe go to bust. Oh, missing the
Oh,
bounce. No,
that
that's
is
so
painful to
unfortunate.
see. Blight's collision on this map can be very iffy at times. If you don't know what you can collide with and what you can't, you can very much see that. And we see him rotating back to the top of the map just to try to defend his 4-gen again and catching the reset, I believe, on to Broken.
We see Hunter just standing there saying hello at the pallet, and Hunter choosing to break away and go back down to the bottom, but Toxic is choosing to go to this top side of the gen. I think he wants to defend top because he's already got those bottom gens popped, and I think he knows it's
Oh,
broken. A
that was a
little bit of a
beautiful
whoop-de-wop
rush.
juice. Yeah, but he didn't quite hit it.
No.
Oh, I think Toxic's getting a little panicked here. You know, swinging out that pallet for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And considering this is the first unhook with the medkit, I assume this is going to be our Deliverance survivor as well, which is making this even more of a tough spot for Toxic here. Although he is chasing top side of the map, which is where he should be chasing. Opting to leave and probably go back to his mid-gen.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one. Because that's your only injured survivor on the map. Even if he finds Mercy Death, that's 2 health states he's got to get down. And he doesn't find Mercy, but he finds Wanda, gets a nice quick tag. He still has 3 rushes. So it's an easy recharge for the Mr. Blight, but choosing to drop Chase
He
again.
seems to just be playing for tags, trying to get his pressure up, but I don't agree with it. With 4 survivors up, there's no way you can keep on top of the resets this quickly in a big map like ARP.
100% I agree with you. He needed that tunnel out on Mercy to happen as fast as he could, and I think he was just a little bit too worried about these generators, and I think if he had have gotten that tunnel out, then would have been a really good time for him to worry for those gens, because when we were chasing Mercy down bottom, you know, we already
Yeah.
he knew there was people down there too trying to cross over, and now we see the chase happen on Broken at what we would call this futile. And oh, the collision not coming through on these cars is so unfortunate.
It is extremely unfortunate. And again, choosing to leave, he just needs to commit to a chase at some point. He seems to just be wanting a quick hit and then to follow up, but it's just not going to be possible if these survivors are on top of their comms and aware of where he is.
Not only that, they're on top of their resets too. We don't see any injured survivors on the board at the moment. If he leaves this chase, I think he really needs this down right now. He's got eruption on these generators. Like Mercy's going to come in for a hit, so the eruption doesn't come off. Well played by Mercy.
Very well played.
And he's choosing to drop chase again. Well. He needs to commit to the chase. He's basically just dry kicking these gens. He's not applying any eruption. He doesn't have pop. He needs to commit to one of these injured survivors and actually get that eruption value, but I think he's just panicking a little bit, getting more tags. He needs to commit here.
3 tags. At this point, he is safe to go back to Broken on 1 or 2 and commit to a chase there while the others reset, potentially. But yeah, I mean, we see the gen pop and they're already on top of resets. It's not looking good. He's going bottom to find the reset, which makes sense considering Broken's already popped his generator, but he needs a quick down and needs it now.
But if he had have just committed to one of the chases on either Mercy or Hunter, he would have got a nice bit of eruption on that gen that Broken was working on.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe he could have slugged from there because he knew how many people were in the area with other tags coming through, and he's choosing to commit chase onto Wanda here. Wanda just able to drop all these pellets as we haven't been used yet, and we still have Shack pellet up, I do believe, but this is going to be a down for Wanda. Getting that eruption on that mid-gen, but oh my god, and the flashlight save from Mercy.
Oh.
This is not what Toxic needs right now.
And a flare to top it off. I dare say we're going to see 1 or 2 more gens popping for that flashlight save, and Toxic knows this is going to leave. But realistically, there's not a whole lot you can do at this point. You're not going to 4K. He needs to start getting freshers on the board. He needs to start getting any kind of progress towards a better win condition for his team.
For a second there, I thought he was going to DC. Like, I mean, I would have.
I was thinking like, okay, I'm out,
guys. Oh no, and another nice little juice from Broken there. And there's so much progress on all these generators. And not only that, the 3 gen's fairly split. That mid gen's just not close enough for him to really be able to hold. Plus, we've got 4 survivors on the board. Copium is safe to take hits, go reset, and then jump on the gens and just keep rotating everyone out.
Yeah, like I said, there's no realistic way this turns into a 4K. He needs to just be getting freshers on the board. He needs to pick Hunter up here, put him on, try to get Wonder and Broken onto a hook as well, and just set his best win con as he can for his team.
100% Gofi. There's no real reason for him to be trying to go for like a 4K one or something here. Freshers are exactly what he needs right now, and yeah. Finds Mercy death. I think if he just commits to this chase, he might be able to get... Oh, we see an unhook come from Hunter as well. Electing to pop the gen. I mean, there was a fair bit of progress, so it's a nice little pop there.
There was a fair bit of progress. I'm not even sure if it's worth it at this point, though, because that progress is going to come back to their survivors very quickly. If they're just doubling that, he could have potentially just chased Mercy there and gotten another down. Now he's in this tough spot where he doesn't know where anyone is in particular. Everyone's healthy that he can find, and he's just not going to get an easy down.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's just in a bit of a panic at the moment. He's not sure what he needs to do. Copium are just playing this so well, just attacking constantly, not giving Toxic any time to even think about another game plan of how he's going to come back for this to, you know, set a at least decent win con for his team. And with, ooh, a nice flick onto Broken there. Broken, I don't even know where he went off to. Oh, you know, we see him. He's going towards main building.
Yep.
I think this might be a down on Broken, so that's going to be a little bit of eruption on that gen, but we've got a... I'm pretty sure we've got a split 3 gen anyway, so they could just be sitting down the bottom side of the map just working on a gen.
Yeah, I dare say that's exactly what they're doing. I think we'll see it popping any moment now, but like I said before, this is what he needs in any case. Like, he cannot be playing for a 4K. He just needs to be playing for hooks, and Broken is a fresh hook, so that's what he needed. It's gonna... Oh, they're committing to this gen.
Are they gonna commit to this? I don't know if they get it. Do they get it?
Oh, he could
They
have.
don't get it.
He could have popped
Oh, he
that gem
does!
there. That was
Hunter,
unlucky.
you're so greedy. Oh, and a spin.
Ooh.
Oh, is this his last fresh hook too? Yeah, it is. Because he's already hooked. He's hooked
No,
Wonder,
I
Broken, and Mercy.
believe. Has he hooked Wonder?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
He needs. He
Is
should
he
just pick up
low?
Hunter and hook him, and then go back for the.
The issue here
no,
is Unbreakable is potentially on Hunter.
Oh, you're
We've
right.
not
Because
seen it in play yet.
Broken's the deli.
Yeah, there it is.
Oof. This is getting even more rough for Toxic. I would have hooked Hunter there and then gone after Wonder because they're not going to be able to get the door open with a fast hook.
Yeah, I mean, and he's traded his fresh hook for a. No, this is the fresh
this is
hook.
the fresh hook. What? Okay, I'm
Doubting
gaslighting.
wishes. Yep, that's okay.
Guess
So
like
this was
gatekeep girl
actually
boss.
definitely the correct decision to be going after Wonder, but that's okay. We've got 4 freshes. This is potentially playable for Inferno survivors. If he camps this to death, there'll be 6 stage 4 fresh. It could be a lot worse, and there's no realistic way for them to unhook this without having a trade, and a trade is just as good as camping. So he can just stand here, deny the gate being opened, and get a 6 stage with 4 fresh, which I think is what he's going to do.
I'm just imagining like a scenario of Mercy Death sneaking in, trying to get that door open, and then the unhook happening. I feel like that's what they're gearing up to do. It's just something Copium would do.
Yep. I'm excited to see what they're going to do, because they are healing up. There's no reason to heal up if you're just going to leave, so unless they want that sweet blood points.
I think they just want a 4-man out. They're gearing up for it. I can feel it. Where are they? Toxic. Oh no, there we got the door open. I think they're choosing to leave. Maybe they had a little meeting up the top side. Should we go? Should we not go? But no, they're gonna choose to leave, and that's what did you say? 6 stage 4 fresh for Toxic. And after a short break, we're gonna go into Copium's killer. So we'll see you there.
And welcome back, everyone. Right now, we're going to be seeing Broken on Copium's killer of Blight, trying to achieve a better result than a 1k with 4 fresh, 6 stages. It'd be interesting to see what he pulls out here, whether he tries to go for the 4k, which is pretty much an expected result for Blight, or just plays for the win con and potentially camp someone out early. We see Spies from the Shadows. What do you think about that choice, Fizz?
I despise that perk so much. I think it's just such a waste of space. It shouldn't be in the game, but you know what? If it gets you the value you want, then use it as much as you want. And we already see an early tag on Broken, and Broken just... I think he's just playing with his food right now because he's just going to get... regardless, this arena's going down, and we see Mitch take the fall, not able to get it, and... Inferno trying to do a Mercy Death and get a flashlight save, but not quite setting up for it in the right spot. But now Broken knows exactly where someone else is. Not sure who that someone was, but I do say Broken's just going to find them fairly fast.
Yeah, I mean, with this win con that they're playing for, the down that was that early, they kind of needed to play for that flashlight save, so I don't blame them. But failing the flashlight save means that there's going to be even less gen pressure on the board, and more chance for Broken on Copium just to camp this out. And even if they get 3 gens on the board, is it going to be a death at 2 gens, and that's all he would need.
Yeah, you're right, but we see... I just want to point out that we haven't really seen much Spies while he was kind of just walking around there, but we do manage to catch out Noob 6. Not Noob 3, but Noob 6, everybody. He's going to elect to trade.
Yeah, interesting to note that this Noob 6 here is the medkit user, so it's not the same person that went for the flashlight save, which means there's actually been very little gen pressure on the board between those 2 survivors being around the hook. Electing to pick up his fresh hook, which with the win con is a respectable choice.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. And it's probably Deli too. You just get Deli out of the way nice and early. You don't have to worry about it later down the track. So even if Deli's, I think Broken's still sitting in a fairly decent spot to just leave the hook. He doesn't have to worry about like camping it or anything like that. And he catches out, I think this is Toxic working on this generator over at 11. And yes, it is. And Toxic running to the edge map. Oh, we got a filler here, but this not exactly the best palette in the world. Can Broken win the main game? But no! Toxic
Oh, the
actually
stun.
winning it. Gets a stun. Broken choosing to drop chase and give the generator a nice kick.
Stun is effectively the only way for the survivor to win that palette against a good Blight, so that was very well played by Claudette there. It is the Blight player for Inferno that won that, and perhaps he knows how dangerous that palette can be. It's going to be hug teching this and getting a nice flick onto Toxic. That was very well played. And he's
Okay, I see you.
going to be running to main building, trying to just hold W away from that gen that was active, but potentially down here. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
And
nice little down on Toxic too.
This is the third fresh on the board. Currently, if he finds Ada here and then just camps it to death, that's already tie. So this is not looking great for Inferno at 4 gens.
There's quite a bit of pressure on this top side gens though. I'm not sure if I really agree with how aggressive they're playing while, like on these gens while they're in, getting hooked up here. They could be down the bottom popping the generators, and we see Mitch is still up here as well. So I'm hoping there's at least 1 or 2 survivors down that bottom side, and we see a reset come through into our Nia, but again, that's still Broken's fine to keep chasing this because he knows no one's actually working on generators at the moment, and it hits through the window. And we've got, I dare say that was Ada working down the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, and the reset onto Nia would have to have been the medkit, considering the gen pop there and then the unhook. Gonna be hooking here, and yeah, if he finds anyone else, if he finds Ada here, which he does, just camps this to death, that's the win. So this is looking very dire, and as you said, they've been working the top side a lot, even though that's where the killer has been. I think that's been a critical flaw in their plan.
100%. I think they just needed to push those. I think they just needed to push those bottom side gens and then come back up top and maybe work on the gens. But as you can see, with a lot of resets coming through, we've got the unhook happen, and the spies are actually popping off right now. Just notification after notification, but just because it's a notification doesn't mean they're still there.
Just letting you know that that's actually where they were unhooked. Amazing info. But,
wow.
It's actually interesting to see because Spiceman Shadow got a lot of value from Nurse earlier on in the season on Cold Tower, but on ARP, I don't see it as getting as much value because the map is so much bigger. But just a nice little
I'm chasing someone, but Spice is popping off on me anyway. I know exactly. No, I'm gonna stop. I'll stop. Bullying the perk. If you want to use it. Go hard. I'm not a lover for the bird perk.
I don't think either of us are. It's coming through a little bit. Oh, he just knows where noob is.
I think Nia actually just walked into that one. Not gonna lie. I think that was just a little bit of a oopsie daisies. But we're gonna see Nia go down to the bottom side of the map. We know there's a fair bit of resources down here because they haven't had any chases down here yet, which is fairly good for the team because they're gonna want to be working on that top side of the map. And nice bit of zoning from Broken, not allowing this Nia to get to Shaq, pushing him back up towards the top where there's not much resources left either.
Yeah. This is going to be, I believe, the second hook on Nia. He's got a death on Mitch. This is... Yeah, this is probably looking like a 4K1. This is the win, I believe, yeah. And there we have it. Rushing around bottom side, seeing if we can find any pressure on these gens and potentially someone on there. Nope, I don't. Is that pressure?
We see
a little bit.
Like maybe about 50% progress on the gen, but not enough for it to actually be finished. And Broken's gonna just check around this edge map, make sure no one's actually stealthing there. And don't think they always see the unhook happen on Nia. Broken's probably just gonna go straight back to that hook. Or
yeah.
not. Well, yes.
Not sure. All Nia's running at him to take aggro. Interesting.
DS?
Potentially DS Deliverance? Maybe? He's just Broken's elected to wait out the DS by just standing on top of her. I don't know.
Just gotta reply to the messages, man.
Yeah, like, sometimes they're important.
Yeah.
It is DS. Yeah. Okay, DS Deliverance. That's crazy.
That explains exactly why Nia ran into him, but yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Ooh.
I mean,
nice Shack pallet drop, and
if you're Inferno, that is exactly what you need right now. There's not a whole lot else you could do in this situation, but it is just going to be another quick down on top of it.
Yeah, but Broken's just getting down so much faster than what Toxic was, and I think that's just allowing Broken to get the results he needs, able to play as aggressive as he possibly can. He doesn't need to tunnel out the first survivor. In a way, he kind of did. He did get rid of that first survivor, but you know,
Yeah,
we've already met WinCon already with all the freshers on the board.
Exactly, and I think that's been the major difference between Inferno and Copium's killer. This set is the fact that Broken has been able to get downs consistently and quickly, and sure, he's not playing a lot of macro, but he just spots people out all the time and able to get quick tags and quick downs.
And the birds just giving him so much information right now. Actually got value being able to spot out Toxic on that 2-tile because the bird flew up in the air. So we'll agree he got some value, but Toxic, just throwing all these pallets just to buy as much time for his team to maybe pop that generator down the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
Oh, not quite the right time. Sorry. Oh, a little bit of a spectator bug going on here. I'm not quite sure what's happening with his arms.
Yeah,
but
I believe this will get fixed when he rushes next, but until then, he's just going to be poking them with the end of his stick, I guess. There we go.
And then we got the down onto Toxic. I do believe this is their second hook. I can't remember, to be honest. Yes.
Yeah, it is. But unless they pop this gen bottom, which I believe we saw miss kill check. Oh no, it would have been eruption.
And the
Crow's
birds.
value. That was legitimately Crow's value, I would give you.
I think this is just going to be a fairly quick down onto Ada here too.
Yep, he's just waiting for his rushes to come back, and yeah, it's going to be a 4K one, I believe.
Yeah, Ada doesn't even have time to go for the trade, and a little bit of mind games happening, and Broken winning the mind game. Was that a dead hard?
No, it's dead hard.
Ooh, okay, Ada coming in with a nice dead hard there. And trying to go for the trade, but no, not quite making it, and that's going to be the down onto Ada.
4K1. Coming out strong on Inferno's pick. Copium is just showing that they're not to be messed with, and it's going to be an exciting game. The next set is Singularity. What do you think about that?
I like a good Singularity game, you know, the revenge of the biopods coming in hot. So as we see Ada and Toxic fly up into the air, we're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be seeing Copium on the Singularity first. So see you then. And welcome back to our second set of the series. We've got our Singularity on the Wrecker's Yard. First up, we're going to be seeing Copium, as this is their pick. How do you think this game's going to go, Gaffic?
Well, thinking about last set, the fact that Blight was Inferno's pick, and now we're looking onto Copium's killer, and I've seen Greendin on the Singularity before. He's quite the machine, and already placing these biopods and getting a quick infection. This is looking pretty good already. I'm excited to see the result.
Yeah, as we all know, Singularity is probably not the best killer in the pool. What is he, like B tier?
I believe, yeah, probably B tier, I think. But
yeah, so
he is expected to get like 6 stages.
I'm hoping to see a very good, you know, a couple of good chases coming in from Inferno. Nice early pallet drop, because we all know that Singularity can just break those pallets. What do you call it? Slipstreaming to the survivor when they have a biopod on their back, or whatever it's called. Yeah. I'm not too sure what they call it, but no, we're just going to call it infection. But yeah. Inferno doing a nice juicy chase right now, keeping Green's attention down this bottom side of the map. But Green, I think he's just gonna try and place a couple of pods around and get another infection. We saw an EMP come through, so maybe the teammate's coming in clutch with the little doohickey vacuum cleaner looking thing.
Yep.
I'm not sure what it's called.
That's definitely what it is. You said EMP before, but like I like vacuum cleaner. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, I mean, this chase, another EMP coming through. It's looking like a long chase, but the fact that 2 EMPs come through, it makes me think how much gen pressure they got on the board for all these pallets that they've dropped. Realistically, Singularity is a very loopable killer. I don't think he needed the EMPs this early. And I think it would have been more beneficial just to have more gen pressure.
We do see one gen pop, but we still got Corrupt up as well. But at the same time, Green hasn't exactly gotten a tag yet either. So we're going to see Claudette running into the back pallet. I'm not... Nice little vision block with the little biopod there. And we saw another survivor coming in with the EMP as well. But
Yeah.
Green doesn't care. He's got a tag. He's going to keep choosing to chase Toxic. He's got Pain Res on the board. Oh, he's using... Is it Force Hesitation? The funny Berg? I like that Berg.
Yes, I believe this is Force Hesitation, which can be used to like really force trades and make it harder on survivors and saves. It's generally what the use is for in comp. It'd be interesting to see how Green Dean uses it.
In fact, Toxic's just taking Green for a mad loop around the whole map at the moment, but I do believe this will be a down on... We see the EMP come through. Can he get the pallet? No, Green choosing to swing through that because he knows he can't get stunned while he's in overclock mode. So very nice chase from Toxic. We've managed to get one gen done, but like you said, so many EMPs coming through. Green knows that not enough pressure is on the board for him right now. He can choose to keep chasing Toxic as much as he wants and still get that pain res off and stop the next gen from popping.
Yeah, exactly. And think about how many pallets we've seen used for that chase. Sure, it was a long chase, but if it doesn't translate to in-game gen pressure, then what does the long chase actually mean? It's not that much. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe one or two more gens pop. If not, I'm not entirely sure the EMPs were worth it. It's been interesting to see their focus on EMPs. As, I mean, Fizz, that was Catgem's idea when Singularity first came in the pool. You have one person rotating in and out with EMPs, but it's sometimes not worth it when on a killer that's actually very loopable and don't really need to remove the infection that much in chase.
Yeah, but I think Inferno's got to learn from that little mistake there. Maybe one EMP per chase they could do, but we do see two gens pop, so maybe it was worth getting those EMPs that long chase. And Green's happy to just sit here and camp this out to at least second stage, maybe a full death. I'm not sure, but I can't quite see where his gens are at the moment, and we do see that second stage come through onto Toxic, and Green's just going to have a look-see around. We see someone coming in for the pool. Can we see a little bit of Force Hesitation and play maybe Ace goes down? But no, we choose to... Oh, I think we're going to go for fresh hooks here, because if we see another gen pop down that bottom side of the map, this is actually really good for Inferno right now. And there's the down onto Sins, and I think he's going to... Yeah, he's slugging. Maybe Toxic didn't get the distance he needed with the Force Hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get this tunnel out makes... Oh, there's a very quick tunnel out that... And we spot both survivors as well. This is actually a very good spot for Green Dean now. I didn't agree with the camping to the second stage when you have such pressure across the board and a quick down in regards to gen pressure, but now he's kind of looking in a good spot before the people comes through.
Okay. I don't think that they want that 3v1 scenario too fast, and we're going to see the down onto Mitch and that another Force Hesitation coming into play, so Toxic's not going to be able to get too far, and look how slow he is. He's just walk away.
I mean, it's just walking down to 6, just casually taking a stroll, and yeah, Green Dean's going to be taking the tunnel out with 2 slugs on the board. We know Ree cannot be doing any gens in this position. She needs to be picking up, and because of that, he has the time just to get this tunnel out. 3v1, knows the no gen pressure is on the board, and play it out from here. And he's actually come back in. Green Dean's come back into this match very strong because of the information that the Survivor team has given him.
Yeah, like I think Inferno played really well, just like sitting on gens and not coming in for that save until the very last minute, even letting Toxic go into second. But I think Green Dean just knows how to play around a 3v1 or even like, those saves, those last minute saves. Green Dean is very well at playing around it, and look how close these two generators are. That's kind of disgusting.
It is kind of disgusting, but we do have a third generator that they can work on further down. So realistically, this is a bit of a split, but it's definitely all very playable for Green Dean in this position. And we see a reset coming through, which is what they needed to do. But Yeah, I mean, this isn't looking great for Inferno from a strong position. I believe they should not have had everyone coming through for that unhook, and I think from there it's kind of collapsed on them.
Yeah, because now green can safely go chase these two survivors down the bottom side of the map and leave the unhook because he knows they're not exactly in the right position to be able to unhook anyway. And he can just watch anyone that will even try and come in for the unhook.
Yeah, I think if Inferno were to learn anything from this game, it'd be the importance of information to give the killer. Giving the information that they've given the killer has meant that Green Dean can leave this hook or can confirm stages. He's
Hello.
just gonna get a free tag, and this is gonna be trade. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Might see
watch
force
this.
hesitation again.
Force hesitation. There's Zarina just
Yep. Slowly walking away.
I absolutely love this perk. I think it's so funny to see in com. I love seeing it. It's such a troll of a perk. And when you know how to use it correctly, it's so strong.
Yeah, for sure. Especially on Singularity, where that fourth perk slot is kind of debated at what you can bring. You can bring Nowhere, you can bring Pop. Don't see many people bringing Force Hesitation, but we're seeing the value of it today, and it's actually really interesting. Another quick
I think
tag.
it might have just caught Inferno off guard too, because as you said, no one's really used it. It's usually, Pop or Nowhere, Brutal, Bamboozle, one of the classic perks. And I don't think Inferno's ever really played around Force Hesitation, so it might have surprised them a little bit and caught them off guard and managed to, get Green Dean to the point where he's at right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't believe it would tell you that it's in the game until someone is like affected by it, which would probably have been the first hook trade. So it's not like they're gonna know about it until it actually gets value already. And is this a balanced landing? No, I'm not quite sure about the idea of that one, but we're gonna be seeing a slug next to a hook, and I think this is just gonna be a 4K one fizz.
Yeah, I think so too, because Green knows exactly where the other survivor is, as he just saw a bird fly up in his cameras and possibly spotted them, and there they are. There's Mitch. Hello, Mitch. Come. I think this is going to be a down onto Mitch here. I don't think doesn't have much to work with. Oh, the pallet's still down. Maybe we see a nice little chase coming from Mitch. He's playing around this pallet really well. Nice ball, but Green Team with the mind games. Mitch not quite able to read it and ends up taking the down here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good result for Singularity. It's going to be very hard for Inferno's killer to meet this Tycon even at 4K1 when the expected result for Singularity is somewhere around 6 to 7 stages.
Yeah, but I think Green Dean likes to play a lot of Singularity, so he's probably got a lot more experience than what Inferno has. But I am very keen to see how they're going to play this out. And
yeah, I believe he's choosing to drop, knowing that he can't get to a hook, so he's just going to close hatch first, let the wiggle out happen, and then chase him down again.
oh, okay. I was like, why is he slugging, man? Just hook. But yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, he wiggles out. He just chases him. If he stays in that corner where there's no hooks, he just waits for endgame collapse to kill him. So this is still going to be a 4K one. Yep, just going to close the hatch. Go back to the slug. Pick them up. What do you expect to see from Inferno Killer coming out? Because there's no chance of Nowhere with this win con.
Hard to say. They're going to have to play fairly aggressive. I think maybe Pop could be a very good choice of them if they can get quick down, so maybe they might choose a chase perk. Brutal Strength could be a decent choice there, but I don't know. It's like you said, Singularity usually only does like a six stages, but it's going to be rough for Inferno. They're going to need to play super aggressive, but also have really fast chases, get those downs, get the first tunnel out, and then play around either a 3-gen or a 4-gen.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be seeing that in just a moment, so stick around and we'll see you then. And welcome back, everyone. We're going to be seeing Inferno on the Singularity now. I believe it's going to be Hearts who's playing the killer for them. And I've got a little bit of insider info, Fizz, that they're actually pretty new to Singularity and picked it up within the last week. So it'll be interesting to see how they've learned and what they can put into place. I'm seeing an interesting perk choice here, Fizz. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I agree with that because their win con is actually a 4K too. Like I said in the previous game, they're gonna want to need something that's either a really fast chase perk or something that'll stop the, give them a lot of gen regression. And as you see, the crop's actually kind of a little bit split at the moment. We got 6, 7, and then all the way at 10, but there's a gen in the middle at like roughly 8. We did see a little bit of a, I think maybe a 7%. We find someone all the way down here at 6. Is that Messy Death? That is a Messy Death we see here.
Slay.
Messy Slay, dude.
With the pink dress and all. And I believe it was a balanced landing off that hill, Fizz. I don't know if you caught that.
Honestly, I don't think I did either. But we're going to choose to drop the chase on Mercy because she's all the way in the corrupt, and I think Hearts knows this, so they're going to choose to find someone that's working on these progress generators. And we did see someone, but isn't choosing to chase just yet. We saw someone in Shack with a little bit of a head bop, but where did they go? Oh, here they are. We see Broken. We see Broken. Oh, not quite making that. That was a... Oh. Broken getting rolled through the window. Oh, outplayed there, Broken, but we see Broken choosing to leave Shack and go back to this filler pallet in the mid, which is, it's not the worst chase area, but we do see someone else working on the generator. I actually quite like this, getting a tag and bone. Now maybe just commit to bone here and get that fast down. We're about to see corrupt end as well too.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you've gotten a quick tag, you've gotten another quick tag, now you can commit. But we don't see that. We see him leaving again and perhaps going back to Shack to find Broken. He seems to be going in and out of chase quite often, perhaps trying to just generate pressure across the board. But as we know, Fizz, that in competitive, that doesn't tend to work, and especially with M1 killers like this.
100%. I think this is going to be quite similar to how Toxic played the Blight, like getting those tags and then leaving, but it's going to allow the team... Yes, there's Sloppy Butcher on the board. Yes, it slows down the healing, but I think Copium's in the spot where they're going to be able to do those quick heal ups and then get straight back on the gens. And we do hear a lot of pressure on this gen over here where Mercy's getting chased, but Mercy's got a fairly safe area to work in right now, and choosing to drop that pallet and just make some distance over in this corner of the map. No, choosing to stay at the bus, actually, and Hearts is going to decide to leave, and we see a reset happen on Broken. Like I said, Copium's just going to have their reset game on point. Hearts needs to just commit to whoever they hit, get the down, and get some pain res on the board.
Yeah, for sure. Like, once you start getting pain reses, it can start to snowball pretty quickly. But if we just keep leaving chase like this and letting them reset, right now you've just lost a gen and you're basically the start of the game and you don't have corrupt, and it's looking pretty rough for a win con where the survivors just need to pop all generators. That's all they need to do.
Wait, I didn't even realize they brought Bamboozle.
Yeah, we have Bamboozle. We don't even have Sloppy, actually.
Wait, I didn't even realize
I didn't register that either, to be honest. I did see the Bam, but yeah,
so these resets are going to be even faster, and a bit of sprint burst, which that's so rough for Singularity. Oh, trying to get another little hit through the window and Vanquish, not letting it come through just like Broken did, but we're going to see a chase happen in these match 6 tiles. Not the best tiles in the game, but Vanquish actually managing to outplay Hearts here, but we're going to see... Is this just another TNL? Not very... I mean, these tiles aren't the greatest, but Vanquish is playing around them really well. And we see a Bamboozle come through, but not quite able to get that hit. Just missing out, and Vanquish has got that EMP in the back pocket, so even though they just got tagged, it just comes straight back off, and we see everyone's full reset. Like you said before, we're basically
head on.
That's so rough. We basically just see like we're back at wait. Can we just pause 2 seconds? There's only one gen left.
Yeah, we are at Tycon right now, Fizz.
I didn't even notice that happened.
That just happened recently, to be fair, but he needs to be getting a 4K right now if he wants to tie this set and go to the 3rd set of Nurse.
And
And
I think just like not being sure of yourself as a killer, and I think that's exactly why Copium picked this killer because they had Green Dean who knows how to play this killer, knows how you should be playing around these generators and around, the tunnel outs and then the 3v1s. Whereas, a team probably as new as Inferno wouldn't exactly have the experience on Singularity as Green Dean would.
yeah, exactly. And we're seeing the confidence of Hearts kind of becoming an issue here as he leaves chase pretty constantly, which is something that um, not so confident killers tend to do, I've noticed. And we're seeing the issue with it now is that everyone is reset. Not a single hook is on the board, and we're at one generator. We've effectively started the game again at one generator with no corrupt.
I mean, maybe they can get some hooks with the Noed. Maybe that's why Noed's in the back pocket. Noed is a fairly good choice if your win con was, not a 4K1 or, sorry, a 4K2 or, you just needed a couple of stages. And we see another chase coming onto Vanquish. He's not able to get that pot on the wall. It's just struggling. Vanquish's head just getting in the way. And we see another EMP come through. So, again, it's not going to do much for Hearts right now. Vanquish coming back to these TNL walls, knows exactly how to run them. Maybe use these check spots. We do see a little ball happen.
A little
Vanquish is
ball.
Vanquish is playing this quite nice. Oh,
The Noed.
yes, we
Vanquish
get some
absolutely
value.
tasting it there. Holy.
I bet Vanquish is molding right now. Had a really nice chase and then
Absolutely.
just gets denied by Noed. I do agree with this slug. I think maybe if the doors are a little bit closer, it could be a very good slug, but this is the doors are at the opposite side of the map, and I think the team's already going to be on those doors
Yeah.
and just getting all the outs. I wouldn't even come back in for Vanquish. I'd just let them die on the hook.
I believe
Sacrifices
that's what we would
have to be
see.
made.
Yeah. That is correct, Fizz. Well, Copium might have won the set. I feel like Hearts won it uh, in terms of hitting Broken through that window and then Vanquish at the end. I don't know. I think that's a victory in my heart.
Well played by Hearts. Someone that hasn't really been playing Singularity all that much. I think with a bit more practice and maybe go back and watch some, other people play the killer, you would understand a little bit more of the playstyle. And
How
that's a
does that?
flashbang coming through. I'm not really sure how that blind happened, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and that's going to be the win for Copium. So, those was pretty good games, Gaffy.
Yeah, it was great to see. The the survivors on each side just juicing up and the killers showing what they can have, especially Green Dean and Broken, absolutely doing fantastic work. And I'm excited to see both these teams play again.